Hello, my name is Claudine Seibert. I'm coming to you from sunny Florida. I'd like to talk today about caretaking. When you're a little kid, you rarely think about taking care of your parents. A young imagination just doesn't generally dwell upon the reversal of caretaking roles. Heck, you can be 50 years old and still find it difficult to bear the reality that your folks just can't tend for themselves anymore. It's akin to coming down with a bad cold. You're always in a state of denial when that slight achiness begins. And so it goes with observing mom and dad. Getting older, more sickly, forgetful, weaker, and in many cases, completely helpless. And you ask yourself, what can I do with this utterly depressing, time-consuming situation? My message to you is, whether you are aware of it or not, divine guidance will accompany you every step of the way as you serve your loved ones. I'd like to tell you a story that supports my belief in divine guidance. One Floridian sultry evening, a thunderstorm brewed. My father was asleep as he was consumed with depression after losing his wife at 54 years. He had severe emphysema, dementia, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. As I walked through the house, I noticed a cowering dog in the carport. I went outside to investigate, and with a clap of thunder, he glommed onto my calf. I had to bring him inside. I introduced him to our little dog. They became fast friends. I checked out the telephone number on his collar and called his owner. Luckily, she was a couple of hours away and on her way home to our community. Eventually, an absolutely enchanting tall redhead appeared, filled with gratitude, and Lillian introduced herself with a story that left me speechless. Lillian said, "It's so funny that I did you a favor a year ago. I saved your father's life." Lillian went on to explain how she was driving with her mother, who just happens to be a registered nurse, and her sister. And they noticed a big black sedan on the side of the road. And the driver was hunched over the steering wheel, clearly in a state of absolute distress. So my trio of angels somehow got my father home, tucked him in bed, administered his medications, and indeed saved his life. After Lillian told me this story, she asked, "Would you mind if I came back tomorrow and reacquainted myself with your father?" I was so grateful to hear those words. Well, it was as if Nancy Reagan sauntered into the Florida room. My dad's eyes twinkled like stars. She took him on golf cart rides, to the dog races, to the polo games in Wellington, which wasn't easy. He was a large man in a wheelchair. Luckily, she had a van. He taught her checkers as she talked of salvation and religion. Lillian, in turn, taught him how to play Texas Hold'em poker. My angel Lillian took care of my dad and visited him for 18 months, numerous times during the week. Between Lillian and the hospice team, life was relatively manageable, but I had to get a job due to financial reasons. I miraculously landed a position in a school 5 minutes from our home. I started on Wednesday, and on Friday I got a message at noon to come home because of a dire medical emergency. Just as I drove into my driveway, just by chance, Lillian, her mother, and sister also drove into my driveway. They took their position at the head of my father's bed, and they began singing angelic hymns and assorted songs. We even sang happy birthday to him, even though it was 11 days before the actual event. I assured my father that it would be the best birthday yet, because he would be able to hold his beloved wife in his arms once again. Lillian and her mother and sister sang Amazing Grace in 3-part harmony as my father died in my arms. Besides my message that whether you are aware of it or not, divine guidance will accompany you every step of the way as you serve your loved ones, I have a call to action for you. Comb through your memory bank as far as you can and decipher which memories will serve you in the future and disregard the rest. Share your family history. Share your knowledge with your family, friends, acquaintances, and strangers. You can come to the realization that you were actually fortunate to take part in the completion of a life cycle. So my call to action for you is to trust that you can recover, survive, thrive, and enjoy life once again, and continue to live with a fresh set of eyes and a lighter heart. I did. Thank you, and until next time, this is Claudine Seibert from sunny Florida.